I think we're at a point in our world's history where folks recognize we can't do things the way we have been doing them. We need to evolve and to embrace renewable energy and shift away from fossil fuels, or we're gonna wreck our planet. And as your advocate and your representative in Sacramento, I'm voting like that.
Santa Barbara Trails Council had a hike today with Gregg Hart, the local representative for Santa Barbara County in Sacramento. Listen to what he has to say.
30 goals that President Biden has embraced, that Governor Newsom has embraced, trying to preserve 30% of the lands in the state of California and the ocean in California for all perpetuity as a primary strategy to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And this is so fortuitous and probably not accidental that we're here on Earth Day weekend. I was just reading a huge book that Douglas Brinkley wrote about the beginnings of the environmental movement, and it reminded me about the oil spill in Santa Barbara in 1969. I was 10 years old when that happened, and it was a formative, foundational experience to see the impact from the industrialization of our coast and to understand what it did to the marine life and the bird life and really the spirit of Santa Barbans. Folks, I think, had kind of blindly accepted that was the reality of the time. Stearns Wharf was actually a working pier that had all kind of oil equipment on it. It wasn't anything like what you see today. It was a dirty, smelly place. And as a result of the oil spill, which just devastated this area and shocked the conscience of the country, Earth Day was one of the products of that at that time. There's a lot of places around the country that claim ownership of Earth Day, but we have our share of that too here. And obviously, the oil development that's off our shore has continued for all this time. But I think we're at a point in our world's history where folks recognize we can't do things the way we have been doing them. We need to evolve and to embrace renewable energy and shift away from fossil fuels, or we're gonna wreck our planet. And as your advocate and your representative in Sacramento, I'm voting like that. We just recently took some significant actions against the oil industry. California's leading the way in really trying to move away from fossil fuels and embrace renewable energy and embrace the 30 by 30 goals. So there's a lot of work to do, but I am so excited to have all these people here today. I think it demonstrates the values that we have in this community that we're acting on a daily basis. And one thing I want to mention too that I find personally very inspiring is the work that happened, I guess it's a year and a half ago at San Marcos Preserve, when there was the threat of development on that property. The community came together and said, we'd like to try to do something extraordinary. And it really was extraordinary, because raising $20 million in 90 days, I was very skeptical of that. But, I lent my voice to that. I worked with the developer, helped try to raise the money, and lo and behold, our community stepped up and did something impossible. And it shows that nothing is impossible. In fact, that word is I'm possible. And this is what we're going to do with all the projects that the Trails Council is advocating for, that the community leaders like Mayor Clark are fighting for here in Carpenteria. And we want to do that throughout the whole district, from South San Luis Obispo County to Carpenteria in the 37th Assembly District. So thanks for coming out. Let's go have fun, and let's go walk out toward the ocean and up the coast and see the seal rookery and hopefully see some whales too.
Well, we walked down the beach by the Chevron platform, and we were with the mayor of Carpenteria's in the white hat on the left, Gregg Hart, our representative, on the right. And it was just a beautiful day. Got to see quite a few seals. And then the flowers. Santa Barbara's got its own superbloom. Happy Earth Day. I'm Scott Kipp, and I want to make videos you're interested in. So leave me comments and let me know what you want to know. And subscribe. Care for the future. Vote for the future.